This is the Mini Countryman John Cooper Works, and this week I'm testing out the Favoured edition to see if this small SUV is as fun and urban friendly as its smaller Mini Cooper sibling, while still offering the coveted SUV space. Stay watching to see what I've discovered. There are 5 versions available for the new Mini Countryman, which includes a lineup of both petrol and fully electric powertrains. For the petrol John Cooper Works, there are 2 trim levels available, and our test model is the flagship Favoured variant. The 3rd gen Mini Countryman JCW is built right alongside the BMW X1 and is a direct competitor for the X1 M35i xDrive because it shares the same engine and platform. However, that model is over $18,000 more expensive, so if you're after the impressive engine outputs, the JCW Favoured is definitely the better pick. Surprisingly, the John Cooper Works Favoured edition doesn't actually add all that many features on top of the base classic variant, but the additions do include 20-inch alloy wheels with performance brakes, red calipers, and an additional 6 paintwork color options to choose from. You also get electric front seats with massage and memory position functions available for the driver's side, but that's about it. Other standard kit includes heated front seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a premium Harman Kardon sound system, as well as this adorably round 9.4-inch OLED multimedia screen. I was a little bit disappointed though that you miss out on ventilation function for the front seats and just top grade model specs for the rear, like climate control and heated rear outboard seats. But I guess the engine for a JCW is the pull factor. If you're after more spec details, check out the full written review at carsguide.com.au. This is the Mini that's not so mini, and the larger size of this Countryman almost defies its small SUV status, but it has all the fun styling you'd expect of a Mini, and to be honest, that fun, iconic styling is what's going to set it apart from its rivals. This Countryman has JCW badging across the body of the car and on the wheels, as well as a cool checkered flag design in the grille, which really reminds you what's underneath the bonnet. This looks as mean and as cool as what a Mini can look. There's a hefty mix of materials in this cabin space. You've got a really thick, heavy weave knit fabric across the dash, doors, and on the top of the seats, as well as a black synthetic leather upholstery and quite a few plastics inside. The red accents are not going to land with everyone, but overall it's a pretty fun atmosphere in here and very refreshing. You get some nice little design highlights, like the rose gold metal accents found in the door handles and air vents. And I really like that you still get a turnkey experience in this model despite having a keyless start, because you get a little turner knob for the start button. Up front, there's a lot of space to be had, which is great. The seats feature high side bolstering as well as quite decent padding, but they are still on the firmer side, which means that you do get a little bit of fatigue on longer journeys. Around town though, they're very comfortable and the massage function is excellent. At first, the storage options look a little bit odd, but they're very functional and there's heaps of cubbies to pop all of your gear into. I particularly like the look of the center console because it's very cute, but it still holds all the keys and my wallet, which is good. And I like that you get a sliding armrest because it's very functional. The circular OLED multimedia system looks gorgeous, and once you get used to how to access the menus and the little shortcuts, this is actually a very simple system to use even while on the go. Usually I'm not a big fan of having to rely on a screen for most of your functions, but I do like that the climate control functions are permanently on the screen. Charging options are good with 2 USB-C ports, a 12-volt socket, and a fast wireless charging pad, which is well positioned for easy access. You get wireless phone mirroring in this, and the Apple CarPlay was easy to connect to and maintained a steady connection this week. You also get an easy-to-use built-in sat-nav. In this back seat, I have plenty of head and leg room for my 168cm height. If you're a bit taller, you might struggle with the headroom, and it's a bit snug if you were to fit 3 adults side by side in here. 2 are going to fit best. The seats are pretty firm as well and sit a little bit too high for it to be truly comfortable for a longer trip. Since this is a top model grade, I would have expected there to be a few extra features back here, but the storage and amenities are still okay with 2 mat pockets, 2 USB-C ports, as well as a fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. You also get reading lights and air vents, but the air vents aren't directional, which means that you can't turn the airflow to where you want it to go. The boot has up to 505 litres of storage capacity, which rivals some mid-size SUVs. The storage area has a little lip and a handy storage compartment underneath the floor, which is a perfect place to put the tyre repair kit or any other items that you don't want rolling around. You also get a 40-20-40 split on this rear row, which opens up storage options again. And as always, it is handy having a hands-free power tailgate. The JCW Countryman is an all-wheel drive with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. It has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo-petrol engine, which produces up to 233 kilowatts of power and 400 newton-meters of torque. That means you get a 0 to 100 kilometer sprint time of just 5.4 seconds, so it is super fun. For a performance SUV, the JCW Favoured has a lowish official combined fuel cycle usage of just 7.7 litres per 100 kilometres and a large 54-litre fuel tank, giving you a theoretical driving range of up to 701 kilometres. Now that's pretty good for such a go-getter. I'm really impressed with my overall fuel usage because I did a few long trips, to be fair, but I did do a long weekend in the city and did some heavy urban driving. My real world usage has popped out at 7.9 litres, and that is an excellent result overall. I would expect it to be higher if you just did city driving though. Even if you don't love the design, the power of the turbo-petrol engine is going to win you over because this is pure, unadulterated fun on the open road. But in the city, you get a total hot hatch experience despite this being an SUV. The adaptive suspension is on the firmer side, and that means that it feels quite stiff when you're going over bumps. Bumps are also quite loud because of the large tires, and road noise does creep in quite a lot at higher speeds. However, you don't notice it around town, and that means that it's more of a comfortable ride in the city because of it. The visibility is really good in this, and even with a car seat installed, it doesn't hinder your rear view vision, which is excellent. This just, in general, felt very sure-footed on the road. I got a real mix of bad weather this week, and even in heavy rain, it did everything that I asked of it. The firm steering makes this feel very nimble no matter what situation you're putting it through. You also get gear shifting paddles on the steering wheel and a boost mode for when you want to really wrangle out the top performance out of the steering, suspension, and the engine outputs. It's very fun actually. One of my favorite things to do is park this car because it is so easy. You really know the dimensions of it, where it stops and ends. You get front and rear parking sensors, as well as a really clear 360-degree view camera system. It's seriously easy to park, guys. The new Mini Countryman hasn't been tested with the ANCAP and is thus unrated, but it does feature a good host of safety features as standard, as well as 7 airbags, which includes the front center airbag. Some highlights include rear cross-traffic alert, side exit assist, and an intelligent emergency e-call. The adaptive cruise control is also very user-friendly and one of the better ones that I've sampled. But if you're after more safety specs, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au. The Mini Countryman is offered with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and you can pre-purchase up to a 5-year or 80,000 kilometre servicing plan, which costs a flat $2,250, and that's very competitive for the class. Service intervals are condition-based, which means that your new Mini is going to tell you when it needs to be serviced. The new Mini Countryman John Cooper Works in Favoured Edition offers everything you would expect it to. Iconic Mini styling, strong driving performance, and a well-equipped cabin. This is a wonderfully quick urban dweller that you can park anywhere, but it's still just as happy on the open road. And for me, it's pure fun and offers more personality than a lot of its rivals do, which is why it gets a score that's on your screen now. But if you're after more details, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au. I'll see you next week.